Well, welcome back to another episode of my YouTube channel and my podcast. Guys, it is very imperative for us to talk about the things that people do not want to discuss, especially when you're living with a diagnosis. In my case, I happen to be a stage 5 breast, lung, bone, esophagus, abdomen, liver metastasis cancer. I was diagnosed back in 2014. I was given less than a year to live. And 7 years later, I am still here today. I have been very blessed to meet amazing people all over the world with different diagnoses, not just cancer, different cancers, or even other sickness and diseases. The reason why I decided to come out and talk is because when it comes to terminal sickness, most people isolate themselves, don't want to discuss anything, and a lot of the times they give up way before their time. I have not only beat the odds, I'm still here today, but I believe that in sharing my journey, others can learn what has helped me in the process and will help other women. Aurora, I met back in 2018 when she first got diagnosed. Hers was breast cancer as well, and it was a stage 2. She was at the beginning of this whole journey. Back then, I remember carrying a conversation with her, telling her the importance of nutrition, health, supplements, things that she can do within her control that would help her eliminate cancer, and she would continue living the rest of her life. Sadly, in 2020, is that correct, Aurora?
That's right.
She had a relapse, and we are now going to talk about Aurora and her journey. So, without further ado, it's all about discussing, sharing advice, and lifting each other up to having hope and faith. Without hope or faith, guys, you're not going to get very far. If you learn from us, if you take our advice, you're not alone in this, and you never have to be. So, Aurora, without further ado, let's talk about 2018 and what happened in the beginning when you got your diagnosis. How did that change your life? What was your mentality then? Let's go with that.
Okay. So back in October of 2018, that's when I felt a lump in my breast. I was taking a shower and I noticed it and I said, wow. But, at that time, I thought it's just a cyst. So I didn't take that, I didn't consider it that much. By December, it grew a lot. From October to December, it really grew. So I said to myself, you know what, let's go get and check it out. So I went and checked it out. They did a mammogram, MRI, ultrasound biopsy. By January of 2019, I was diagnosed. And, my doctor came into the office. I saw his face. And I said, oh, wow. Yes, sure enough. He came in and he said, Aurora, it is cancer. Okay, so
Were you, I have to ask, did they check you for the genetic gene at any point? Are you genetically positive, or you don't know?
I'm not. They checked me for the BRCA.
Yes.
And it was negative. It was
negative. Okay, but yet you still got cancer, and your mom had cancer.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I just want women to hear your story.
Yes, of course.
Even though that there's genetically negative, doesn't mean that you're not going to catch cancer because you don't know. It could happen to anybody. Correct?
That's right. That's right. So, so when he came in and he said, Aurora, I'm sorry, but it is cancer. Okay. I was not expecting a no or a yes. I was in between. I said, it's going to be what it is. But at that time, when he told me that, I said, okay, it's, I stayed quiet maybe for 2-3 minutes because I was processing all the information, But then I said to myself, okay, I have it. Let's fight it. Let's fight it. Let's take care of it in any way. That was my mentality right there and then. So I left, I left the office, and everybody, the girls, I looked at the girls, and I even noticed, they were like sad, and they didn't know how to react. But, it is what it is. And, from day number one, I always thought, you're going to fight it. And because my mom has been a breast cancer survivor for 25 years. So, she's like a model for me. I saw her and I said, okay, if she was able to do it, I'll do it too. So I started like that. Okay. So January, I got diagnosed. February, I started my first chemo session. And then by the end of June, I was in remission. Okay. Yes. So that I remember that day when I was told that, Aurora, you're cancer free. My oncologist said, Aurora, you can eat, drink, live life, enjoy life, and drink, eat whatever you want. You're free to go. And, I had spoken to you, remember, in between. And I remembered, I always remembered I didn't follow rules, which is bad. But I remembered, and I said, no, I tried. I was at the beginning, yes, I was trying hard. I tried to do my good things, but then I got comfortable, and I started. I'm a sugar lover. That's my bad side. I love candies, chocolates. I mean, I can stay away, but candies are like a stress reliever for me. So at some point, in between, because let me tell you, I was re-diagnosed in 2020. Okay, so
relapse.
Right, I had a relapse. So my remission only lasted like for maybe 18 months, more or less, or a year and a few months. So in between that, I was now I realize, back then I didn't realize it, but I realized that being, eating, not having a good nutrition, being in a toxic relationship, the environment was not good. It was bad, That's when you realize, you don't realize it at that moment, but when I was re-diagnosed and then everything that I was going through, I realized that, it was very possible that triggered it.
Okay. Yeah, because, when we're the ones on the inside, not realizing what we're doing to our own bodies, we don't hold ourselves accountable. We don't realize, what we're doing to our own bodies, Aurora. In my case, I was a hairdresser. I would put myself last before I would put my customers. I was not eating at the right times. There was days where I'd be on my feet all day and I didn't even have a lunch break. Things that were within my control, but I never stopped because everything else was more important than me. And we do that even with our partners and relationships and our children and our family members and our friends. We put everybody else first but ourselves. And eventually our bodies, our lives, it takes a toll. And that's what happened to me. In your case, you were in a toxic relationship. I remember that. I remember the conversation. And I remember when I first saw you, girl, oh my God, I thought, wow, what a beautiful woman. I mean, you're gorgeous. You had your whole life ahead of you, as we all do. We put so much of ourselves that we don't even take the time to take care of ourselves. We don't. And then we realize it later, because then a diagnosis winds up happening. In your case, it was stage 2 at the beginning, and you had a relapse in 2020, and it came back stronger, more aggressive, and a stage 3, correct?
That is right. Yes. Yes.
So how has cancer changed you from the first time you got it to this time that you're fighting it again? Where is your mentality with cancer right now?
Well, I mean, it's made me realize, first of all, that you cannot take things for granted. Okay, first of all. Why? Uh, I mean, life is short for everybody, Jessica, not only for us. I mean, life is short. In a blink of an eye, your life goes by and you turn around and it's already 20 years. And you say, what the heck happened? But, uh, you know, it how can I say it? It's made me more aware of the things to enjoy. It's made me aware that you have to enjoy your present, because sometimes we're so concentrated on thinking in the future, what we're going to do, what we're planning for the future, and you don't stop and smell the roses for in the present. You don't. And I've learned to do that now.
I think cancer, and I'll speak for both of us, getting cancer made us realize the simplicity of life and what to appreciate. Most of us take life for granted. You know, um, it's like saying, if you've never been through a divorce, how do you know what that feels like? You don't, and you won't unless you go through it. If you are a battered woman, how are you going to know what that feeling is like if you've never gone through it? You and I have had a diagnosis of cancer. We've been through treatments. We deal with side effects from medicine that, in my case, not yours, that I'm going to have to be on for the rest of my life, is what I'm told. And these are very aggressive treatments. It changes even our identity. No hair, no eyebrows, surgery, scarring, you name it. But it doesn't change us as women. you know um as vain as I used to be, sometimes I sit back and I laugh now, Aurora, and I say, what was I thinking? you know Half the things that I used to, or I wanted to do back then, I don't even care about now. It doesn't mean anything to me. So cancer did change us and how we are as women today. you know um are you in a relationship right now, Aurora?
Uh, I have friends that I have a friend that is there and has been supporting me, and we're getting there.
Nice. Well, and I say this because, that's another topic that I think women go through when you're going through a cancer diagnosis, because, you're a single woman, you're a beautiful woman. Why should that change your dreams and desires of finding a man one day just because we got cancer? It doesn't have to change us and how we feel as women. If that man is going to be by your side, he's going to love you for who you are inside out, with or without hair.
Exactly. That is so true. I believe that.
Right?
I agree. Yes.
And it's so funny how we're so vain as women, and in your other relationship, you try to be the perfect woman.
Yep, that's true.
I remember.
It didn't work.
Well, it's not that it didn't work. It's that even though as beautiful as you are, your smile that radiates the room, girl, it doesn't matter, because he as an individual didn't see you for who you were.
That's right. I agree with you. That's true.
And you have so much to give, so much to give. I see you now, and I've said this before, I've checked your profile. I see you coming out dancing and smiling, and you're going through treatment right now. I know that you are, and even though we're faced with our challenges, I still see you with so much life, Aurora. I want you to give advice to women on How and what gives you that courage, the strength to continue even fighting your battle now? What would you tell them?
Well, I mean, you have to understand that not because they tell you that you have cancer, it doesn't mean that it's the end of your life.
Right.
Okay? You have two things. Either you fight it, um, be either you fight it, be positive. You know, your mentality, first of all, like I said before, Jessica, faith. And the grace of God is the first thing, okay? Don't get me wrong, that's the first thing. After that, your mentality, being positive, loving life, loving your family, having the support of the people that love you. You know, that's medication for you. You know,
Yes.
it is. It is.
Therapeutic, very therapeutic. Because you need people who surround you who are going to support you, not bring you down, but help you. Help you not so much bring yourself up, but to understand that even though we have a diagnosis, it doesn't change the fact that we still want to live life to the fullest. That our dreams have to just go away just because it happened. You know, Aurora, I've been on this journey for 7 years, and mine is a stage 5 terminal diagnosis. Even though my diagnosis is terminal, I've never once stopped and said, "Oh, I give up," or I have nothing to live for, or I stopped dreaming. On the contrario, I have said, you know what? I'm gonna live life to the fullest and with no regrets.
Mhm.
And that's why I share my journey with all these people, because I think that when you get a diagnosis, they really believe that their lives is over. And it doesn't have to be that way. You know, you could still smile, you could still dance, you could still have a relationship and find the man of your dreams. You could still have that, love of career or job, or what is it that you want out of your lives that you don't want to live regretting that you didn't do. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So where does your strength come from?
First of all, Jessica, from God. You know, and you have inspired me a lot. Let me tell you that, okay? I told you since the beginning, and I really mean it. Okay, so now I'm here trying to help you with me, with my story, inspire other women too. You know, you're not alone. People are not alone. Okay, if you get diagnosed, the only thing you can do, get that strength from your soul, and everything's gonna be all right. I mean, it doesn't mean that you're gonna die. Everybody's gonna die in this world. We're all gonna go. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you're gonna die tomorrow. So you have to live your day by day. Enjoy life to the max, like I've always said. And that's why, my saying, Jessica, it's always, and that's why I put that dance. Because for me, you can dance in the storm. You can dance in the eye of the hurricane. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. Either you want to dance or you want to cry. One of the two. One of the two. Okay, so I decided
And
to dance.
I mean, I agree with you 100%. I'd rather be laughing. I'd rather have someone who, understands me and I can have these conversations with, and we can laugh about it, rather than to be in the room depressed, full of anxiety, not having anybody to talk to, and feeling like, just kill me now. My life is over. I don't want that to be the way that I live. I don't want that to be the way people remember me as. I want them to remember that even though I had a diagnosis, I never gave up. And I was still living life to the fullest. And I know that's what you're doing too, Aurora.
I agree. Yes, that is true, Jessica. That is so true. Because you know what? I don't want people to feel pity for me. Never. You want to inspire people. You want to let people know that life is beautiful. No matter what, it's up to you. It's up to you. So, I mean, even, what, even though, I mean, right now, like I said, I'm going through my chemo session. I had my third one this past Monday, 3 days ago, and I feel great, and you have to have that mentality. You have to win over whatever. If you're feeling a little sick, don't let it take over you.
Right. Mind over body. Let's go back to that. I got my diagnosis back in 2014. I was given 1 year to live. 7 years later, we're talking today. And as we speak, I am getting over COVID. When COVID hit me, girl, it changed even my diagnosis that much more. Mentally, physically, spiritually, it was a challenge because I really didn't know if my body was strong enough to come out of this. But you know what? It's like you said, my spirituality is so strong with God that I knew that every breath I was taking was between me and God. And I knew that if he was going to get me through this, because in the end, only he knows our time, there was going to be more for me to do. And I would stop at nothing than to help other people who are going through this, Aurora, and share our stories with them. Because you know what? It's not over till it's over. And only God knows when that time is. So let me ask you, is cancer or has cancer been a blessing or a curse for you?
Between a blessing or a curse, I would say that it's a blessing. It's a blessing because, it, even if you don't want to, it helps you become a better person. It does.
Absolutely.
In every aspect, okay, in everything.
And appreciate life.
Sure. Appreciate life, of course. Like I said before, Jessica, before I would eat and I would just eat and watch TV and whatever, but now I take a little bite of my food and I enjoy it, I savor it, and I try to savor the moment, and not only with food, with everything. You have to stop, smell the roses, like I said before, and enjoy life and enjoy the present. Enjoy the present because, like I said, don't start making plans. I mean, of course, you have to make plans for the future, but don't forget your present. And that's what I've learned.
Yes. We got to live for the moment, but we also have to keep dreaming. And no matter what comes our way, your attitude, your positivity, and your spirituality are going to be the most important things that get you through any storm. Not just a diagnosis, but any storm. You got to love yourself first before anyone else can. And I think that's really hard for us because during a cancer diagnosis, we lose our identity. Mm-hmm. A lot of the times we lose our identity, from our hair, as I said it before, to scarring, to no eyebrows, no eyelashes. I mean, girl, it took everything from me. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I still have an amazing man by my side who doesn't treat me like any less of a woman. And I don't feel like any less of a woman. In fact, in my opinion, I believe cancer has made me a stronger woman today than I've ever been before. Because I know what I want in my life and what I don't want in my life. And right now, I am living for every moment, just like you. So what advice would you give women who are going through this, Aurora, that you would want them to know so that they can have the same courage and strength as you do?
Okay. You have to understand that, they're not alone. We're here. We're a community. We're here to encourage each other, to continue with life. If you are diagnosed, always remember that's not the end. That's the beginning of a new life. It's going to make you, it's made me more spiritual. It's made me better in many ways. I cannot explain because I mean I don't know, but I feel a happier person now that I know between the good and the bad. Okay. So I mean, you're not alone. You have to, like I said, have faith, be positive, have a good mentality, and love life. And those are
Keep dreaming,
keep
because it's like Aurora said, just because we got a diagnosis doesn't mean that our lives are over. In fact, it's just the beginning. You can open a new chapter and start writing your new book. Let's not live life with regret. Let's start living life for what it truly is meant for. And that is the simplicity of life, the people who surround us, the things that we have. If you have health, that is such a blessing. I would give anything back to hear the words, you know, remission, or you can have that health back. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to battle this for many years to come, but I'm not going to let this get in between me living life to the fullest. Life's too short for that. And women need to know that even though they're going through it, they're not alone. And we're going to go out there, we're going to tell our stories, and we're going to show women that, you know what? It doesn't change you, who you are. You're still beautiful, you're still amazing, and you still have a future, no matter what comes at you. So I want to thank you so much, Aurora, for sharing your story with us. I know it's hard when it comes to personal journeys, but a lot more women need to know that there's women like us who are not giving up. And if they would only learn the little things that can make a difference, then maybe they would, have a chance at beating those odds too, as we have. You know, right now I know you're still going through chemotherapy. You're gonna start radiation pretty soon.
That's right.
Do you know how many radiation treatments you're gonna?
Yes, I'm gonna get 30. So that would be 6 weeks from Monday through Friday. So it's 30 rounds.
But you're a strong cookie, and you're gonna get through this. And let me tell you, Aurora, even through the radiation, I wanna go to your page, and I wanna see you dancing like the beautiful woman that you are, with that radiant smile, because I know that other women are watching you too. And ours are just the touch of a story of many women who are going through this, Aurora. So thank you for sharing your story, your personal journey. And Mija, you are going to make it out like a champ. I know it from the bottom of my heart. The advice that I would give you today, as I would give any other woman out there, is that once you are diagnosed, do not go back to your same habits. We need to understand that this is a life change for the rest of our lives. And you can beat this. You can put this to sleep. You can beat the odds. And if you're in a situation like mine where it's terminal, you can still have quality of life by living life, by loving life, by just honestly, I say, give and surrender yourself to God before anything else, and everything else will fall into place. He's the only one that has our story in the end and knows when our time is up. And our time is not up if we're still up. So remember that and stay beautiful. Stay smiling, stay encouraged, stay inspiring. And this will be one of many videos yet to come that we're going to continue to speak about personal topics that no one is discussing. Thank you, Aurora. Is there anything you want to tell our audience before we leave?
Like I said, you can always dance in the rain. Okay, you don't have to wait for the storm to end. Always remember that. Okay,
I
love you,
agree.
Jessica, and you know that you're an inspiration. Thank you for inviting me, and I love you very much, and you know that.
I love you too, Mija. And you know what? Just know that you're always in my prayers. And I already know because I have my strength with God. You're going to beat this once again. But, Mija, this time I want you smiling. I want you dancing. And I want you living your dreams the way you wanted them from the beginning. Because you deserve that. We deserve that as women. We all do, you know? So let's never take life for granted again.
Not
God bless you all. Thank you, everybody who is watching my episodes, who is sharing our stories. This is one of many, many patients who I've been working with throughout the years. As you see her, she's a survivor, she's a warrior, she's an amazing woman of God. And I know that she's going to beat the odds and live a full life just as she should be. God bless you all. Until the next time, we will see you again.
thank you.